Shirley.
Thank you. First of all, I want to thank the Tea Party organizers for inviting me to speak to y'all. It's a humbling honor to be part of such a great and laudable gathering of Americans taking on this grand intellectual revolution. My name is John Shirley. I'm a sergeant with a large municipal police department just down I-10. I have 15 years of police experience, and I'm a third-generation peace officer, and I am an Oath Keeper. Before I explain what the Oath Keeper organization is all about, I'd like to first speak on the nature of oaths in general. Webster's dictionary defines an oath as a solemn, usually formal, calling upon God to witness to the truth of what one says, or to witness that one sincerely intends to do what one says. It also defines it as a solemn attestation of the truth or inviolability of one's words. Put simply, an oath is a person's formal promise calling upon God's help to actually do what they say they're going to do. Generally speaking, we use oaths when calling upon someone to fulfill an important purpose or to take on responsibility not normally required of every person. I took an oath when I became a police officer to preserve, protect, and defend the Constitution and the laws of the United States and of this state. Our respected soldiers all took an oath to protect and defend the Constitution from all enemies, both foreign and domestic. While many political offices require a similar oath, only soldiers and police officers have the training and means to actually fulfill the oath. But more importantly, they are the only ones not beholden to a political party or a cult of personality leader. They are only beholden to the Constitution and to the people they swore to serve. They are the true guardians of the Republic. To that end, Oath Keepers exists to remind current and veteran police officers and soldiers of their oath to the U.S. Constitution and the restrictions the Constitution places on the power and scope of government interference into the lives of its citizens. As a member of Oath Keepers, I pledge to be faithful to my oath, and to that end, and in that vein of belief, we pledge not to do any of the 10 following things. We will not obey orders to disarm the American people. We will not obey orders to conduct warrantless searches of the American people. We will not obey orders to detain American citizens as unlawful enemy combatants or subject them to military tribunals. We will not obey orders to impose martial law or a state of emergency on any state. We will not obey orders to invade and subjugate any state that asserts its sovereignty. We will not order any blockade of an American city, thus turning them into giant concentration camps. We will not obey any order to force American citizens into any form of detention camps under any pretext. We will not obey orders to assist or support the use of any foreign troops on U.S. soil against the American people to keep the peace or maintain control. We will not obey any orders to confiscate the property of the American people, including food or any other essential items. And finally, we will not obey any orders which infringe on the right of the people to free speech, to peaceably assemble, and to petition their government for a redress of grievances. While this list is not all-encompassing, it lays out the types of government abuses that we see on the horizon and ones we will not tolerate nor enforce. I want to take a minute and speak with you about things that are going on around us that aren't receiving coverage, and things that we, the people, need to be aware of. Number one, violation of the Posse Comitatus Act. Although the federal government didn't begin violating this law there, the events surrounding the Hurricane Katrina aftermath are an egregious example of an out-of-control government. For months, U.S. military troops, as well as armed government contractors, patrolled the streets of New Orleans and surrounding areas. This is a direct violation of the law. They also took part in mass gun confiscations, including door-to-door searches for weapons in parts of the city that were not even flooded. A natural disaster is not a legal reason to deny citizens of their Second Amendment rights. Nobody has a problem with the Coast Guard rescuing people from their rooftops, but it's another thing entirely for them to be running armed patrols around a city. This is a job for local and state police. The upper Gulf Coast of Texas was devastated by the storm Rita after Katrina. And many cities throughout Texas dispatched a large coterie of peace officers to patrol those streets. This action went on for well over a month and got the job done without federal interference. Another disturbing trend are the urban warfare drills going on around the country, where U.S. troops, and sometimes foreign troops, will occupy small U.S. cities for several days of training. We are told by press releases that these drills are to prepare the troops for the jobs they will do overseas. But I take issue with that reasoning. The streets of Fallujah have absolutely nothing in common with Main Street, USA. The only logical reason to train going door to door in Middle America disarming people is to acclimate the troops to do exactly that. The purpose for our armed forces is to project force somewhere else. From the days of ancient Rome, it was against the law for Caesar to march the military under color of flag across the Rubicon River. We must not let these urban warfare drills or violations of Posse Comitatus to continue. How do we put the military back on track? Since most of the military is under direct federal control, it starts with Congress. We must elect our representatives based upon their belief in the U.S. Constitution as it was written.